Hey everyone, today we're at a hospital and this is where all their drainage leads to. Giant pond. They have a series of retention ponds that all drain here, meeting up with a small stream, but this is a man-made pond. The road here created a dam and they built this structure here. Obviously they don't have beavers here because this is not a beaver-proof structure. This structure is here so if debris gets stuck to it in a storm, it can go over the debris, and if needed to, it can go over the top. This would take a really long time to jam up from flow. But a beaver can fit right through that and build a dam in the culvert anyways. There's a little bit of flow, there's no clog. Obviously they're doing good maintenance on it. And by the look down here, this is low water flow. I can see the water line of where it usually is pouring into it. Looks pretty cool. Let's get across the street. Real funny here at the hospital. No bicycles allowed on the sidewalk. Bicycles can go on the sidewalk if they're on the right. Which is it? That's pretty cool. They don't even have to maintain the sidewalk because this is not a state that you can sue if you fall on your own. If you fall down on ice, it's your own fault. That's awesome. States that have laws that you can sue if you fall on someone's icy sidewalk, that is so screwed up because ice can form like nothing. It's not the person's fault. You should just be being careful. Look at this water, how it's that tinted, it's nasty. That's not the color of just being nasty. That's the color of sewage. But let's go look at the pipe. At first glance, it looks like a cast iron pipe, but I don't think it is. No, it's just dark concrete. Really high quality. Look in there. And you can even see down there, it's drizzling out right now. So you can see the storm drain spouts spilling a little bit of water. The storm drains are from going up the hills in each direction, picking up a little bit of extra water. It's a possibility there's combined sewage, or it's just nasty sludge being picked up by the parking lots. Either way, it's definitely not something you want to be swimming in or playing with, but this is pretty cool. Look at this. They have this pool here, so when that thing's blasting, it doesn't dig. Then it comes down here. They have a whole bunch of silt filters they never picked up, and it's becoming microplastic slowly. Look at this. It goes right underneath this gigantic boulder. That's pretty cool. But you can tell by the water lines, water's typically higher. You can see they even dug a trench because the holes are too small to allow water. I think that's more of a vent because that's an electrical manhole cover. That's more just a vent. Anything that might build up in there like gas. Yeah, you see right here's another one. Just got a tiny little hole in the middle. Basically just so pressure can't build up in there. Take a look at their itty bitty drain system. It goes down to a 90-degree elbow and it comes out right here. Now, the purpose of this drain is not for now. Right now, anything can go off the road with no curb into the drainage ditch. This is for the winter when there's a big snow bank blocking the water from getting off the road. And if you have a snow plow pushing everything, it's unlikely that anything would clog against it. Also, why is it so small? What if it rains in the middle of winter when the snowbank is still there? In that weather, it's likely the water will quickly find a way underneath the snowbank, but the drain is also there. It's just a way of being cheap and saving money. And you can also see why the water was that foggy, grayish green tint. It's all coming out of all these parking lots. Because by law, you have to have parking lot and large building water going into a retention pond. The retention pond, debris can sink and it cleans the water, usually surrounded by cattails to get rid of any contaminants. But then the retention pond's main point is the retention pond is supposed to remain almost empty, just enough to keep the biological cycle going, keep all the aquatic plants alive. But during a rainstorm, You got water blasting into it. It fills up, and when the rain stops, it slowly releases it over the next day or so. So it doesn't overwhelm all the area's waterways, because before people built this up, it was a forest that could absorb all that. Now, you have all these non-porous surfaces, roofs and parking lots. Can't sink into the ground, so it overwhelms the rivers. That's the part of a retention pond. But when you got a place this big, with thousands of vehicles dripping oil, tracking in mud and other contaminants, people spilling garbage, they should also have another kind of filter that also collects oil, which does exist. It's expensive. That's why they don't put them in, but that should be required with these bigger businesses, which could definitely afford it. It's a special system that'll break down the oil or skim it off the surface with other debris too. I think they should have that. Also put on the discharge of storm drains, a lot of bigger well-off cities are now putting trash filters, which the DOT would have to empty every few months or every few days, depending on how gross the city is. So anything going down a storm drain will be collected instead of discharged into a river and eventually into the ocean. And there's a big construction site here, a whole bunch of other contaminants that could possibly be leaking. That's how it is. Now right here I like, down there it said untreated sidewalk, you know, so you can't really sue them if you fall on it. Especially in this state, you can't sue them for that. It's your own mistake. But in shitty Massachusetts, you can sue someone if you fall on their sidewalk. It doesn't matter. Even if someone who salts it, it could get rained on, washed away, and then freeze up the next night. But nope, they'll still find a way to pin that on you. This whole area smells like natural gas. Look at all that gas. That must be natural gas or propane. It stinks real bad from that rotten egg smell that they mix into it, because it's naturally odorless. But look at the sidewalk here. This is a good idea for the winter. Very difficult for a sheet of ice to be forming thick enough to cover up the gravel. It's a good idea. It can't crack and get all screwed up. With no vehicle traffic, just foot traffic and bicycles, pretty hard for potholes to form. Doesn't need grading nearly as often. Pretty good idea. It might become a little more muddy, but no, this looks like it has a good base. It's all gravel and it looks like it goes pretty deep. Pretty interesting. Someone left a big turd there. Hey everyone, today we're checking out an abandoned car wash building. It's actually two buildings, but we're gonna look at this one first. It's got the abandoned containers over here, which may be for this place, maybe for the building next door. Don't think we'll be able to get in anything, but check it out. The drain is completely caked and plugged shut. And look at this. The owner even threw nails in here and a bunch of screws, and just in case somebody tries to come in here. Got some old pictures of cars. This thing is pretty cool. An abandoned car wash by the looks of it. A few years abandoned. Got heavy wear to the font on the machines. Oh yes, these did it on purpose, putting nails in here. Hope there's none over here where I just turned around. Someone's storing a car in here. Oddsmobile. Pretty cool. And this right here, look at this. It's all shriveled up. Can't really read it anymore. Armor All. Looks to be blocking this door right here. I think they're blocking it more to keep animals out. I see animals definitely going in there. Drains are clogged here. Again, the owner threw nails all over the ground. Like, if the owner doesn't want people in here, they shouldn't be throwing nails in the parking lot, especially in a populated area where people might just want to turn around. I understand not wanting someone on your private property, but there's not a sign saying not to pull in this parking lot. There's no trespassing signs. Looks like back here a bunch of homeless guys hang out and drink. Look at all this. Bunch of tires abandoned here. Look at this. Still got the machinery in this stall. At least parts of it anyways. So awesome. Maximum height 6 feet. Pretty cool. Look at this machine, abandoned. Look at all the debris that the wind just dumped in here. Look at this. I don't know, this place has been closed for a while. And look at those prices. This place has probably been closed for a while. But then again, those prices, they seem high compared to some places. I don't know. I haven't bought a car wash in years. Do it myself. But I know there's one place still around. It's really cheap. Look at us, homeless people hanging out here. But you see there's another building right here we're gonna look at. The automated car wash. Got all the vacuums. Makes you think, when this guy went out of business, why didn't they try to sell this stuff? They just leave it here rotting. Why do people do that? Let's go look at this over here. Take a look at this portion of the building. It's so damaged from the weather. Look at that. That window's about to fall out. The frame is so rotten. And here's the office. Cash only. No heavy mud. It's all pretty cool. No credit cards, cash only. Now that is definitely really cheap right there. The most expensive job is only 17 bucks. I've seen places now that are a little more expensive. Nope. Let's get a quick look around the other side of the building too. Ooh, chipmunk. This would have been so awesome to see the inside. Look at that, they even covered up that window. Too bad.